Hi, friends. Matt Noyce, 1 Degree Outside Insights, the deeper dive into meteorology. Before we get into that, just a reminder, if you grab our app in the App Store for Apple or for Google Play, easiest just to get it right off the top of the banner of our homepage, 1degreeoutside.com. You'll see just how hot it's going to be in your neighborhood. What I'm more thinking about is there's some isolated storms coming up in the days ahead. When you get this kind of heat, usually you can touch one off here and there. And if your town happens to be one of the few that gets it, I would love for you to have our notification so you know it when it's coming in. All right, what's happening here is high pressure is building off our coastline. We always get a clockwise flow of wind around the center of high pressure. That starts the south-southwest flow of wind today and a southwest wind that will carry us right through the upcoming weekend. That's what brings in the heat. So it builds what we call a ridge in the atmosphere. We can analyze not quite at the jet stream level, but about 20,000 feet up. And you can actually see there is the ridge developing down across the Carolinas. That's, again, in the upper levels of the atmosphere or middle levels of the atmosphere. So certainly that's going to encourage the same thing to happen down at ground level. You get high pressure drifting down to the south, strengthening. We have one disturbance that drops in today, and that's why there is just a chance not only for a little shower across northern New England, where we've already seen a couple, but also when you get from Boston down to Cape Cod, there could be a sprinkle or a light shower in the afternoon as that disturbance whizzes by. And then after that, basically the ridge, the high pressure builds in. So that tomorrow you look and you say, well, what do we say? There could be an isolated shower storm. This is what I mean. In the coming days, when you get this kind of heat, what happens is you get what's called differential heating. You get some areas that either because of the terrain or the covering of the ground, the type of vegetation versus city, or really the big thing is in the mountains. You get differences that are along the mountainside versus the valley versus the summit. That difference in heating can actually bubble up some isolated storms. And when you've got heat and humidity, they're able to keep taking off. Now, we're not to that kind of excessive heat during the day tomorrow, but it's hot. I mean, take a look. Temperatures are rising into the 90s. We should hit 96 degrees at Manchester, about 95 at Amherst. Boston should be able to cross 90 degrees on Tuesday. There may be a late day sea breeze that tries to kick in at the coastline and cools you back in the latter part of the day, but you should warm up before that happens. We get to Wednesday. Again, there could be an isolated shower storm that develops, particularly in the mountainous terrain. Most of us wouldn't see it. We would just see the heat. Wednesday is kind of one of the peaks of the heat. I'd say Wednesday into Thursday. You can see your high temperatures reaching 95 to 100 degrees for folks that are away from the coastline, but even at the coast, you're still 90 to 95, with the exception of south-facing coastlines like the Cape, where we come to 80. We don't necessarily jump up to 90 degrees. Same thing along the coast of mid-coast and down East Maine. But when you figure in the humidity, which is really going to build at the middle of the week, look at these feels like temperatures. Yeah, that feels like forecast rising to 100 to 105 degrees. Look, it's not like we've never done this before. It's not like this is even abnormal to do this in summer, but we're doing it early in the season. We haven't really gotten accustomed to it. So starting to hydrate today will really help your body out down the line. All right. Same thing with the air conditioning. Obviously, at night, you're going to have mild nights. There's some nights you're going to hang out about 70 degrees for the overnight low at the middle of this week. So it doesn't allow the house to really cool down all that much. So folks without AC, if we can get them someplace cool for a little bit, even if it's a shopping mall or store, something like that to cool down during the day, that can be a real big help to the body. Notice by the time we get to Thursday, once again, there's a chance for a storm to pop up. And this time it may carry out of the mountains too, especially by the time we get to Thursday evening. By Friday, there's an even higher chance we get some scattered showers and thunder will be around as we get ready to break down the heat. It should break down by the upcoming weekend as a cold front comes in and changes the air. Again, we'll keep you posted. Certainly, social media is kind of hit or miss on what you see and what you don't. So just come on over anytime you want to our website, 1degreeoutside.com. You'll find it all right there. Stay cool. See you again in a little bit.